All right, shalom to everyone. I'm going to get into question and answering, I would say, type video here. There's been, a little bit of some conjecture, or I don't want to say dissension between us. Uh, how do you know if you're an Israelite, or how do you know, do you have to go and check your DNA to find out, you know, if you are a Hebrew, all right, or Hebrew Israelite? Um, and I wasn't going to really get into a big video, but I always say, there's going to be a short video, so I'm not. I'm gonna see if I could not be so accustomed of saying that, because I want to just really kind of like get into that question. And a few people have been, uh, leaving comments and trying to find out that they go find out their DNA, and they find out they're from the Cameroons or things of that nature. Um, that is really something that you don't have to do. The reason why you don't have to do that, if you want to find out that you are from the stock of Abraham that way, or the children of Israel, is the reason that you have to do that. And I hope that clicks in. The children of Israel don't know who they are. So the mindset to have, to think that you need to go do that, proves, is confirmation that you are from the stock of the children of Israel. Now, sometimes it can be a confusion where, what tribe and things of that nature. The Most High can really do that part. But predominantly, if you look at America, you're going to see the tribe of Judah. Predominantly in the UK, tribe of Judah. Predominantly in uh, South Africa, okay? You're going to see the tribe of Benjamin. West Africa, and I want to make a correction on the other video that I made. West Africa, you're going to probably see both tribes, but predominantly it's going to be the tribe of Judah. All right, that's why they call us Niger or nigger. That's where that term come from. That's Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Don't really get caught up into what tribe you're from, or what. You just have to go through your attributes. If you're a person that like to sing a lot, or do, usually, especially, because Judah and Benjamin kind of like favor each other. We both have, kinky coarse hair, which is a blessing. Don't think that that's ugly, because that's how they try to teach us. Your hair is beautiful. Okay, you have more strength when you allow your hair to grow anyway. Your vibration levels come up. You get less sick. We supposed to have that type of hair. Now, of course, me, I'm going bald, and there's word that my on my mother's side, I have Italian in my bloodline. I seen pictures of my grandmother uh, uh, on that side of the family, and my grandfather, may he rest in peace, he almost looked European. So of course, a lot of us could have certain things in their family. But my father, both his parents was straight Judah. All right. You can't get around this here. Okay, you can't get around this here, and the color itself, and the facial features. So you're gonna find certain features. You can kind of like look at yourself, you will know. Look at the way you act, the way you carry yourself. Look at your condition that you're in. You will know what you are, kind of, from based on some of the videos that I put up. And thank the Most High for listeners and subscribers, because this is a very important topic, to be honest. We're supposed to really pay attention to our heritage. Some people say, no, that's too much history, that's deep history, but yet they go to a school to get a degree just to get a job or something. So you're using the system based on what you can get out of it, opposed to the information that they can maybe give you. Like, let's say, me, my brother, your brother here can give you a little bit of history. And, I was talking to a person today, I'm going to, eventually the conversation went kind of south. You're getting into too much history. That's too much stuff that I don't know about. So, well, okay, well, you can receive it if I was all dressed up in maybe a white suit, and, a tie, and which is a noose. A lot of people don't know what that is. That represents the noose. But I'm not trying to get too far off the topic, because I got to make a phone call, and let me hurry up and get through this. Now, How do I know if I'm from from the children of Israel? All right. Now, if you are, and I'm gonna go back on some of the information that I went through in the other video. Bear with me. I'm gonna be talking pretty fast. Deuteronomy 14:2. Thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. Peculiar. Look at yourself. How do you act? Okay. Now, the biggest pop-up should be in your mind. Okay, we lost our identity. We have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So if you lose your identity, you gonna try to think and do some type of research on your DNA. That's how you know. That's confirmation right there for you to think that you need to do some DNA testing. Wonder what part of Africa, what the children of Israel. Just that simple. Now, all the other nations can go thousands of years back. They don't need. They got pictures all over their house and books and references and archaeology all up in their house to tell them exactly how far their history go. All right. But when it comes down to the children of Israel, we think that we need to strive in genealogies, doing DNA testing and all that. And that's what happened. And I'm about to read that in Titus chapter 3, verse 9, how our people, even when they start losing their identity, you had the Pharisees and the scribes back there, the Essenes and the Zealots and them. They would, who was your father? Your father's father. Are you from David? Are you from the seed of this and that? So what Paul was writing to Titus, let me get that real quick. Give me a minute here. Let's go to Titus chapter 3, verse 9. And like I said, I just put this together real quick, so you all have to bear with me. Titus chapter 3, verse 9 says, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies. So don't avoid that, because it's going to cause strife and genealogies and contingents and striving about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. The reason why it says, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies, you don't have to do that. That's going to be considered based on scripture. It's going to be foolish for you to do that, because you know why? Because the children of Israel are lost. So the first thing you're going to want to do is check your genealogy. Hence, will make you is confirmation right there that you are from the tribe of Judah or Benjamin or Levi. Now, some brothers, like I seen a particular brother, he was asking this question. Not jumping on him. I'm glad that he's going forth with this information. He's more than likely from the tribe of Judah. Judah always like to seek truth when it comes down to it. When Judah ignites, there's a certain fire that's in Judah for him to go forth and try to get the truth. And sometimes we can be led the wrong way. We be fighting over names, who God's name is, and and who these people are. We get so much information in Judah, it explodes. You have to look at the attributes of Judah. Most of the other tribes are more humble. They're a little humble, except Benjamin can be wild. All right, I've seen some brothers that's from the tribe of Benjamin, from another camp. Beard long with twisties, wild as they could be. But that's Benjamin. He's the warrior. Benjamins are warriors. They howl like the wolves. You send Benjamin when we go to war. You send Benjamin in the front line. Usually, if you got Benjamin in the front line, the other nations is done. Slim. Seriously, Benjamin, which is the Jamaicans and the Aborigines of Australia, it's not a game. Excuse me. Not Aborigines, excuse me, West Indies. All right. They are vicious. They vicious. They the ones that took a slave boat back. Yeah, so you messing with a big chunk of Israel when you messing with the Jamaicans. Yeah, they very tough and strong people. So just look at your attributes. Let's go to Job chapter 10, verse 16. John chapter 10, verse 16. John 10 and 16. John 10 and 16. And I will do a full lesson on the tribes. Sometimes I was kind of, hesitant on that, because I don't want people to really just get into this work based on what tribe they from. You don't want to have a boast in your spirit about, yeah, I'm Israel and you can't touch me. And because some people get into it based on they know who they are, opposed to loving Christ. So I'm really hesitant and have to be very prudent in how I uh, engage that type of teaching. Not saying that it's something that don't need to be done. Of course, it needs to be done. But if you really want to, and I'm going to put it out there very clear, if you really want a good teaching on the 12 tribes, uh, visit the GOCC page, visit their videos. That's their calling when it comes down to it. I am an analytic and I can go into some details on how far we can be scattered, certain tribes. Like I can go into the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, the Chugach people in Alaska, the Natoxidus people in the Philippines, the indigenous people in the Philippines, things of that nature I can break down, of course. But I don't want people to just jump on the bandwagon, find out that they're from Israel, and what about Christ? You see, I try to speak mainly about Christ, because if it wasn't for Christ, I don't care who you are. That's why, Paul says in Romans 2, verse 28, 27 to 28 and 29, excuse me, that, you're not a Jew outwardly, but a Jew inwardly. So you're going to follow the spirit of the true Jew, which is Christ, that came to show us how we're supposed to accept the law, statutes, and commandments. Some people think he came to break the laws. No, he showed grace on how you're supposed to follow the law from the beginning. But our people, you're evil, and yeah, but okay, but look what you did, so things got kind of out of hand. All right, so let's go to John chapter 10, verse 16. And it says, "And other sheep I have which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd." Okay, so this links to the northern kingdom, of course. And if you look at it a little deeper, it's involving this generation that we're in today. We are not of this fold that was written back here. So now we're going to start. It says, "In other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd." So our kingdom is not going to be split in two anymore. It's going to be one kingdom like it was from the beginning. You got the northern kingdom, and then you got the southern kingdom. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi make up the southern kingdom. All right, then you got like the North American Indians, the Guatemalans, the Cubans, the Latinos, the Puerto Ricans, the Hawaiians, the northern kingdoms, parts of like Honduras, those areas, Nepali, which is the Philippines, those are like the northern parts, usually scattered in the islands and things of that nature. Of course, you have Benjamin and Levi were scattered. You got Simeon, which was scattered too as well. Simeon and Levi are brethren. They in the same area, over there in the islands. All right. Simeon is the Dominicans, and Levi, of course, is the Haitians. They over there in the same area. And I didn't do the research, but I heard that there's a place in that area, in the vicinity where those brothers are in that land over there in the islands, is a place called Levay. Okay, so it's spelled just about the same way as Levi. So it's a lot of clues that we can kind of like figure out if you really pay attention to, but don't strive in that, because of course the Most High is going to, through his Son, when he come back here, everything is going to be clear. Everything's going to come back to our mind totally, and we really know who we are. All right, but we're not to strive in those genealogies, and because like I said, you're gonna be doing blood tests, and all it's going to do when you do a blood test, they're going to, Anytime you do a blood test, if you're tribe of Judah, they're gonna send you behind in the Cameroons. Everybody gonna be probably from the Cameroons. That's how they do it. I mean, Wesley Snipes did the same thing. They found out he was from the Cameroons. Okay, that's how they do it. All right, they're gonna give you some off the wall. Yeah, you're from Cameroon, Cameroon, because that's where they mainly did all the research and all the testing. So, and that's on purpose. They're not gonna tell you that you're the same people that's from the Cameroons before they were there was in Israel. They ain't gonna tell you that the land of Canaan. All right, so and some of our people get mixed up on that, thinking that we are Canaanites. We're not. Canaan, we took over that land where Canaan resided. Canaan moved out of the land towards the north with his brothers. All right, Ham had 4 sons. He moved them up. They went up north. We took over the land of Canaan now today, aka which is known as Israel today. So we are residing in that land where we were. Of course, 2 Kings 17 goes into how we were taken out of that land. All right. So wow, I didn't talk a hole in my own head. All right, let's go to verse 27. It says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." So what I wanted to read in this before I got off in that long-winded analogy, and hopefully that makes sense, but we're going to hear the Most High's voice. We're going to be driven to what's being said. For the brother and some other sisters and brothers, I've been getting a few comments, for them to go into the genealogy part, really that's not based on scripture. And don't allow Satan to make you do, to spend foolish money like that to go check your DNA. For you to think that you need to go check your DNA is enough proof, because the other nations don't have to do that. That's how you know when you have to think that you need that. You should know, right? That's how you know who Israel is, because they don't know. So I just wanted to say that again in different ways so it can, click to other people that may not understand it a few other ways that I said it. All right, so let me just skim through some of these scriptures that I went through before. If one hit me, I'll read it. Give me a minute here. Give me a minute here. Matter of fact, I'll read Amos. And where's the scripture at? Something key that I wanted to bring out here. Give me a minute. That's okay. I'll go to Amos real quick. I've read that one. Give me a minute. Matter of fact, let's just go to, I'm going to make it real easy. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 26. Real quick here. Leviticus 26. Give me a minute. Leviticus chapter 26 verses 32 and 33. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at the 31st verse. Man, this is good though. I'm gonna start at the 31st verse. "And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries down or unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors." The reason why the Most High is not going to smell your savors or your sacrifice, because we're praying to Baal, Jesus. Ooh, I knew that hurt a few people right there. His name is not Jesus, it's Yeshua. So a lot of times people prayers are not really being heard like that. Now the thing about it is, through our ignorance, I would say he will give you signs to wake you up. It's up to you to follow that. If you have a real sincere heart. But a lot of times people just follow what their grandparents followed, this or that and the third, not really going into detail of research and just being humble. And once you do that, he's going to give you the true answers and you're going to get true revelation. Because sometimes you pray, you can be praying to the wrong God and certain things happen and you think it's God. And that's not the issue. That's not the case. Verse 33, it says, and I will bring the land in desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. Verse 33, and I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Verse 34, then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Hold up. In your enemy's land. The brother was asking, I did my DNA test and it showed that I'm in the Cameroons. But what land are you in? And though in other people that want to know this information, what land that you're in your enemy's land. So there you have it. That's how you know that you're from the stock of the blessed seed of Abraham. Okay. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbath. Number 5. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land, and even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths. And long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths when ye dwelt upon it. Now, of course, if you look at this, it's actually talking about the land of Israel that our people in ancient days resided in. But everywhere Israel go, since we're cursed people now, we're going to make that land desolate, because we don't have any law and honor anymore. So that's why when you look in the neighborhoods and the ghettos, it look desolate because of us. We're cursed people. You take a cursed people from one land to another, that it don't matter. If you take, okay, I got a new house and I brought the roaches from the old house. You got roaches in your new house now. And I'm not calling us roaches, but what I'm calling us is a people that is cursed right now because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. Truth hurts though. But I don't really like always showing the negative end of Israel, but that's the way we gotta wake. That's the only way we're gonna understand. We gotta look at the situations that we're in, because they tried the prosperity movement and we're more lost. I'm getting tired of hearing the prosperity movement. Oh, you got that money, pray to God, you got money, and now you think you somebody because you got a car or something, because you done prayed and asked Baal for your car, not knowing that you're praying to Baal. All right, seriously, that's the reason why this land here. I'm gonna go back to verse 33, and I will scatter you among the heathen. That's how you know that you are Israelites. You're scattered and you don't know who you are. For you to think that you need to go get your DNA test, they're gonna send you behind to Africa. Now you think you're African. Nah. Tell them people, can you test some people in Israel that look like me? Can you test them and see where it take? Okay, where their bloodline is going to send them. There you have it. So didn't want to get into too much of a long video. All right, 23 minutes. I don't know how that happened. I'm about to be quiet now. Shalom.